Well, it's gonna be really interesting. You know, I was thinking we were gonna talk about the fucking elections anyway, man. And you know what's causing all the trouble right now?
What?
This is all technological disruption. Like, we're looking at, this is all a result of technology. I was thinking, like, if you could like locate the problem, right? It's that, I don't mean to jump from a goddamn fantastic conversation about enormous cocks to some kind of political shit. But
don't ever worry about where our conversations go, man. Lover.
So thank you. so the what you're looking at here, man, is what there's a quote from Ray Kurzweil, which is, things aren't getting worse, our information's getting better, right? And so with Hillary Clinton, who was a career politician, right? And we have all known since we were young, most people, I think, when they think about politicians, they don't think, those are some honest people, those politicians. They usually are telling the truth. I think most of us think politicians, they lie, they warp things, they fabricate things, they use a form of deception to gain control of various power structures. That's what the animal does. So that's not new information when you find out that Hillary Clinton and the DNC, and I don't know if they completely connected those two, but when you find out that they were not, they didn't do what they were supposed to do. They helped Hillary Clinton become the Democratic nominee, and they actively tried to fuck up Bernie Sanders, right?
That's creepy.
But it's not a new thing.
I know, but it is creepy.
It's creepy.
And it's even more creepy that the woman who was in charge resigns and then immediately gets hired by Hillary Clinton.
Got a great job. Hillary Clinton's like, fuck it, I'm gonna hire you, and it won't do anything. She hires her. She's so fucking unafraid of what's gonna happen that she hires the woman who did such shitty things she had to resign, booed off stage, hires her into her fucking party because she's like, fuck you, I'm getting elected, you're not stopping it, right? But this is, again,
it's gangster too, though.
It's gangster.
It's also a move on her part where, I mean, she's looking at like what Trump is calling her crooked Hillary. Like, yeah. It's a gangster move. I mean, well, yeah. to hire a woman like that, like right in front of you.
Yeah, Wasserman Schultz, top post.
Mission accomplished at DNC.
But this is not a new thing, man. This is
what exactly? Well, let's go over this, because what exactly did they do that's so awful about Bernie Sanders? What did they do?
So they apparently came up with a way to disseminate information to the press, highlighting certain aspects of Bernie Sanders that would be unappealing to the voter.
And they did this, and this has all been confirmed. Can you Google that? Find out what they actually said? Let's find out what they actually said.
Summarize the WikiLeaks.
And see if we think they're being a bunch of whiny bitches. But for sure, they wanted... Look, she's got way deeper arms in politics. She's way more connected than he is. For sure, there's... And this is what we're seeing, too. There's like a big part of being a political candidate is how many favors do you have? How many people are you connected to? How deep does your influence go?
Right.
And obviously her influence didn't just sit within her own little group of people that were working for her. It had gotten to the DNC itself. So she's deeply embedded in this whole system, whether it's because of friendships or ideologies or people just wanted her. She's the chosen one, whatever reason, whatever deals were made or whatever, who knows what it is. But when you find out that an organization that's supposed to be the head, it's supposed to be if everything was on the up and up, it's supposed to be objective and looking for what the people want as the best party. But no, they're actually actively steering it, which is massively corrupt and kind of scary. Is that these people are deciding to steer an entire party, which is 50% of a political process. Because there's no... Look, we've got Libertarian Party. For the first time, people are taking Gary Johnson seriously. He's going to do that town hall debate on Wednesday, or town hall, one of those town hall things on Wednesday on CNN. But for the most part, it's Democrats and Republicans in most people's eyes. So what they're essentially doing is rigging half of that process.
Yep.
That's scary. That we don't think anything's wrong with that, but we put Martha Stewart in jail for not telling exactly the truth about where she bought and sold stocks or whatever the fuck she lied about.
We do think something's wrong about it, but we can't do anything about it. We do think something's wrong, but right now, okay, so if like that institution is corrupt, And if the Republican institution is in some ways corrupt, I think it might be safe to say, and I don't think too many people would be outraged at the idea that there is a institutionalized corruption in the entire American political system. And it's very similar to the problem that happens in bike racing. If one motherfucker rigs their bike or gets on fucking doping stuff that can't be detected, if you want to have a fair advantage, you've got to rig your bike and start doping too, or the person who rigs their bike will always win. So if politics is a competition, which it clearly is, and if members of the competition are using nefarious means to achieve their goals,
which they clearly are,
then that would imply that if you wanted to survive in that system, you would also have to use nefarious means. Dum, dum, dum. But, and this is not new. This is old shit. What's new is technology. What's new is now people like Julian Assange are shining a light on the corruption. And his whole idea is, if I reveal this information, it will force reform via the outrage of the people who are supposed to be represented by a person who's breaking the law. That's his idea. We need reform. And right now, we're at the point where it's very similar to when you're in a family. And this is one of the worst things that can fucking happen, man. In a family, if there's somebody who's molesting somebody, it happens all the time, where a father or a brother will start fucking molesting somebody, right? And people in the family know it, but they don't do anything about it, because to talk about what grandpa does every couple of years means the complete disintegration of the fucking family, an apocalypse for the family. In the same way, as more of these revelations become clear, which we always knew, but you could always float into a happy place and be like, nah, I'm just being a conspiracy dude. I'm sure the stuff they're doing up on Capitol Hill is all fair and square. You know, you can just believe it, kind of. You just pretend to believe it. Now it's like, well, no, you're wrong. Look, hey, here's the fucking proof. And here's going to be more proof. And there's going to be more proof. And there's going to be more proof, until finally the American people are going to have to either just be like, I'm just going to believe that 4 is 3 and 3 is 4 because I have a nice, comfortable life and I don't want to fucking deal with this shit, man. I'm just going to trust the banks because the banks, they like money.
Well, I have my job, and as long as I keep my job, I'll keep my benefits.
Yeah. And by the way, P.S., man, when you consider that, it's like, there's something pragmatic about that, as sad as it is. There's as depressing as it is, but the real awful problem is that this country, I think, is like a metaphysical machine that was built by some very intelligent people who understood the energy flow that comes through a society. And the elections were supposed to be an outlet valve for the pressure that builds up when people feel that they're being repressed, right? And if you start fucking with that output valve by putting up fake politicians that don't truly represent the people and hope that the people will believe that they have elected these people, if you put two shitty choices in front of us and we're supposed to look at that and be like, okay, everything's fine, then you're missing the point, which is that there is an energetic system that needs to get released. You know, at some point the energy's got to go out. If it doesn't go out, you get revolution. That's the way the energy goes out, the wrong way. The idea is, let's fucking the American Revolution, brutal, bloody, awful, fucked. These geniuses, many of them Freemasons, got together and they were like, you know what? Is there a way that we can program history so that a society doesn't destroy itself intermittently with a fucking revolution? Because if we could do that, we'll build one of the most powerful, never-ending societies on Earth, because we figured out a way to outflow the pressure that builds up. So when you start fucking with the goddamn political system and pretend that everything's going to be okay, you are missing I think, the point, which is that people who are very smart, maybe a lot smarter than the politicians we have today, recognized something, built a thing, and said, let's just trust the fucking people. Let's trust the people, release the steam, and voila, everything runs according to plan. Now, the gears are a little fucking gummed up, man.
A little.
Yeah.
A little? How gummed up?
How gummed up?
I think the gears are really crazy gummed up. I think this is the first time we're realizing how much money people make by running for president. How much, money it costs to run for president, but how much money top political figures make in donations and in speeches.
Yeah.
Have you paid attention to how much they make in speeches? Like Rudy Giuliani and Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton.
You mean bribes?
Well, this is what it is. These corporations can fund various universities. They can donate money to all sorts of different programs where they would have someone speak. And they can decide who gets to speak and who doesn't get to speak. And they also have, like, the Clinton Foundation. People donate money into that. They don't donate just fuckloads of money.
Now, it's
all these things, but hold on a second.
Sorry.
All these things, what they are essentially are, you're paying someone to speak for an hour, and you're going to give them $750,000, and you want me to pretend that that's normal. That's crazy. And what does this person do? They're a public servant. Okay, so they're a public servant, and while they're publicly serving, they're also making $750,000 to talk.
Yeah.
That seems a little crazy, doesn't it? Like, why do they make so much money to do that? And who was paying them? And what do you have to benefit by having them come and read some nonsense, bullshit, boring speech? A friend of mine went to see Rudy Giuliani after post 9/11 when he was on his victory tour. He was on like a lap of the country doing these speeches because everybody loved him because he saved the world during September 11th. He was the guy who stood strong, and everybody like, wow, Rudy Giuliani's a good man. So he rode that, and he started doing these speeches, and he'd come to colleges. And a friend of mine went to see him and said it was dog shit. That it was a boring ass, like, reading with no passion. It was a cha-ching. Go in there and say some nonsense about freedom and the American way and terrorism or whatever the fuck and first responders and just, there wasn't anything real. It was a performance. It was like he was doing a one-man show all across the country for exorbitant sums of money.
God, that'd be fucking great if he was actually doing a one-man show.
$153 million in Bill and Hillary Clinton speaking fees documented. This is just, Jamie just pulled this up. That is stunning. That's a stunning amount of money. And
it's over 15 years. It's from 2001 to about now.
Still, it's more than that's. I mean, well, it's perfect then because that's $10 million a year.
Yeah, this is more recent of what she gets now. She had
$225,000.
That's her standard fee.
About $22 million over the last 2 years.
She prefers a private jet and prefers a Gulfstream 450 or larger. The memo outlines that Clinton requires travel by private jet.
You know, it'd be fucking cool, though. Is this like, if you were like a mad billionaire, could you just get Hillary Clinton to come to your house and like just speak to you for an hour in your living room? Like,
this is fascinating. Hold up, scroll back down there. She made $21 million doing what? She made $21.6 million in speeches in just under 2 years.
That's amazing.
God. That's incredible. That's so much money.
She's like a kind of like crazy animal that you can like lure with money. Like you can actually, if you have enough money, you can lure a Hillary Clinton into your house. Like you just have to lay it out. She'll show up. Like if I put carrots in my backyard, I'll probably get a rabbit or two. If you have enough money, you can get politicians to come and start feeding at your mansion.
Wait, okay, when does it become a bribe? Okay, so should she like say, well, you can never be. It's weird, right? You couldn't be someone who is in public office and go and also have like a book reading tour where you read from your novel about crime or something like that. You'd have to be like a no fiction person who's, when you're talking about what you do for work. Yeah. That's part of what you're talking about. Like nobody's going to ask Hillary Clinton to come and speak about the history of jazz in the United States. Right? She's not going to give speeches on that. She's going to give speeches on politics, right?
I don't know.
Right? So, okay. So why is that okay? Why can you like have two jobs? That means you're having a second job. Like you're doing your job. Like you're saying the things that you say during your job, but somebody else is paying you too.
Why is it okay?
Yeah, why is it okay to do that? Like that seems like that's like that seems like very problematic, right?
Why is it okay for your husband to go talk? Who was it he talked to? The head of the whoever the prosecutor. Who was it? The district. Bill Clinton went and had this secret meeting with who was it?
About what?
Well, right as
right. Lindsay, what the hell's her name?
I lost it.
Damn it.
The point is, like, you just are openly like hiring the woman who somehow warped the process of getting a Democratic nominee. There, yeah.
What's her name?
Loretta Lynch.
Loretta
Lynch.
Yeah. Doesn't that sound like a country singer? Is that a?
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Loretta
I was wrong
Lynn?
at first. I was like, oh, this isn't right.
Yeah, Loretta Lynn, right? That's what it sounds like. Loretta Lynch. Yeah.
Now, Bill Clinton meets with the Attorney General on an Arizona tarmac. Now, listen.
By the way, flew in on his private plane and said that it was impromptu. Who the fuck flies impromptu on a private jet?
Yeah. Hey, you know what? Hey, who are we flying over right now?
He's just one of us.
Wait, are we flying over Loretta Lynch?
Oh, come on, stop down. I'm going to get a piece of apple pie. She's a good woman. We're going to sit on the porch and drink lemonade, talk about our grandchildren.
Sit on the porch on the tarmac. Nothing I love more than a nice picnic on the tarmac of an airport.
Well, this is the other thing that she lied about, being dead broke after leaving the White House.
Right.
Not only dead broke, but in debt, she said. Well, apparently that's just so not true.
Yeah, and now it's like to make matters worse, it's like you have to. There's this weird idea that's like, listen, you might not like Hillary fucking Clinton.
Can you go back to that real quick? Yeah.
But they're like, you better shut the fuck up about her because do you want Trump to be president?
That is what's going on, right?
Yeah. So
look what it says here. This is where it's confusing. It says when Hillary filed a financial disclosure document after entering the Senate in 2001, she reported assets of less than 1.8 million and liabilities of more than 2 million. Well, what were they doing with all the money? What are they spending money on? Who the fuck? Okay, who has like $2 million in assets and $2 million in debt? Do you have $2 million in debt? No. Most people don't have $2 million in debt. That's a crazy amount of money. Like, did you guys have a budget? You're dead broke. No, you guys are crazy. Like, what are you partying? You guys doing blow and buying Ferraris?
Just staying on Amazon late at night.
Who the fuck gets $2 million in the hole? Like that is like, if you wanted to have someone that you wanted to balance the budget, wouldn't you pick the person that doesn't get $2 million in the hole? I mean,
oh man.
Trump's been bankrupt a gang of times too, right? Hasn't he been bankrupt a few times?
Yep, that's what they say. He says he likes going bankrupt. It's somehow part of some plan. But now the question: what about the shit about Saudi Arabia?
What is this?
You don't remember this? I remember when it's like Saturday Night Live was making jokes about them stealing like silverware and fine china and stuff from when they were like leaving, like on their last days there.
That's ridiculous.
What year was this?
This was like from 2000. Like when they were literally leaving and the Bushes were coming in.
Oh my God.
They're taking all sorts of extra artwork and all kinds of things. And I don't know if it's true, but it's. I don't think the meme has gone away.
I don't know, man.
Huh.
That's hilarious.
I don't know. She's so gangster. Part of me, look, I kind of appreciate it in a way. She's like our Putin.
Yeah, great. Just what we need.
I'll tell you, part of me appreciates how gangster she is. There's a video going around of her talking from 2000 about not having email. And then imagine if she had emails, like what the investigators would find.
Sure, of course.
It's on Mike Pence's Twitter page.
Didn't she take money from Saudi Arabia, or is that bullshit?
Allegedly. I'm not really her accountant, so I don't know.
I just, man, I think it's like a crazy time right now because we're actually getting to witness the cool thing about all this shit is as nefarious as these assholes want to be, they can't keep up with technology. They're being exposed technologically, and that's going to continue to happen. And that's pretty fucking badass, man. No matter how powerful or gangster Hillary Clinton is, she has apparently zero security on her computer systems, or very little security. And maybe if she had great security, she still couldn't stop the infiltration of hackers. And this is going to keep happening and happening and happening until either we just accept that our politicians are innately corrupt, or we come up with some fucking way to starve them out, to make it so that they are. But how? I mean,